What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Subnautica. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we go through kind of the last remnants of the gameplay that is available to us. So I made myself, this should be fun, I made myself another sea moth. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It plopped down into the ocean, and I think it unpinged the other one when I did that. I'm pretty sure, anyways, that it teleported it back to me. Like, it doesn't actually make a new sea moth. I don't know if, like, I had to use the materials and everything, obviously. But we're back up to the northeast. If you're wondering where we're at, let me turn this big old boat around, and you can have a look-see here. The Aurora should be over there. So, uh-oh. Aurora, where did you go? There's the Aurora right there, being all weird and fiery and buggy and clipped out and probably not being in the proper space. I figure we're far enough out in the ocean right now. I want to see the Arctic zone. That's all that I want to do before I quit the game. And so if we can find the Arctic zone, that'd be fantastic. We had to give up on our dreams before because unfortunately this ship cannot go down to depth. Once it gets down to crush depth at like 200 meters, it starts to spring holes. I played around with it for a little while. It was a little bit unnerving having water rush in and having big holes. I know, we're passing the safe depth right now. That's what I like to do, though. I like to take thresholds, and then I just like to poke the tiger here.
Warning. Maximum depth reached. Hull damage.
Alright. Well, I might just leave it right here. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the sea moth, and let's go down to the bottom and see kind of where we are. The sea moth is fully charged, so we should be alright. I've got extra batteries around. In case you were wondering, I also brought along the terraformer so that we can play with that if and when we want to, so that'll be pretty fun. See, I don't know if I should leave that on the surface or what I should do with it. For right now, though, I'm just going to dive down to the bottom. Let's see what we can find. There's got to be something good down here, unless we're just sitting over some, like, abnormal abyssal trench or something like that. I don't know what the depth is going to be, or if we're even near the bottom, but I'm hoping that we can find some kind of biome to play around with while we're here. Although, maybe we won't. I don't know. We look like we're pretty deep down. Did I actually run off the edge of the earth? I was looking around for stuff at the bottom of the ocean, and I don't know. I kind of went off in this direction to get back to where we were, and it may have landed us in a location where we actually previously were not. So, wow, 700 is our depth right now, huh? Well, I hear scary noises. That's always a pretty good sign, right? Am I about to get stuck in a cave again? It's making the cave noises. The water sounds very viscous right now. It's got kind of like a boogery sound going on. It's just kind of, it sounds sloppy. It doesn't sound nice. Is the sea moth even capable of what I'm doing right now? Oh my god, I feel like we're going through some kind of warp gate right now. Doesn't it feel like we're in Star Trek? We're like, that's what it feels like. I don't know. And then we jump through the warp, and then we come out the other side. We're like, warp 7. Jordy, do some stuff. You've got a visor. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think we might be off the edge of the earth. I think I may have gone a little too far. I mean, I do that pretty frequently. It's like what I do here on YouTube is I take things too far, but I think we're down below even like... Alright, back up to the surface. Back up to the surface. I'll be right back once I actually find like a biome or something, okay? Okay, well at least we're back up at the surface now. I guess it didn't despawn our other sea moth. Poor little guy's still stuck down in the fire cave over there. Sucks to be him. Maybe someday what'll happen is actually it'll collapse on him, but slowly, like mud style. And then once it becomes fully submerged, it'll become like a fossil of the fact that Splattercat was there, and somebody else will come find it, and they'll be like, oh my god, what is this thing right here? Was this an animal? What is this? We have no way to identify this because it's all rusted out. Nobody knows what it is. It looks like it's made out of cheap, weird plastic that was manufactured somewhere in a sweatshop. I'm like, don't worry about it. I made it. I can't control... you know, where my fabricator gets all of its goodies from. That's not a thing that I have control over, okay? It might outsource the work a little bit. I told it not to. Like I specifically said, fabricator, do the thing that I told you to do. He may have contacted some people. Those people may have contacted some people. And the origins of the plastic that ended up in the side of my sea moth, I don't know. I can't take the blame for that. I know people are going to want me to, but I can't. I can't. So I guess I went too far north. I don't know what happened here. Maybe I wasn't far enough east either. This doesn't feel like westward. Like, if that's west right there, so we're already going north. I think what happened over here is that I just kind of, like, picked the wrong direction. I'm a little bit disappointed that our power unit despawned. That's a major problem because this thing goes through, like, a ridiculous amount of electricity, and so I wish that it had not. Unfortunately, there's not much I can... I'm gonna honk the horn real fast. I don't know, I felt rumblings. They were terrifying rumblings of evil and possibly also reapers. And so I decided I was gonna honk my horn because it makes me feel better. I don't know if the horn, the reaper might think it's a mating signal. I don't know. He's been pretty frisky and friendly with my ship so far, so it's hard to tell. I don't even know where we should be going right now. Unfortunately, I think the game needs a mapping unit where if you go along the bottom of the ocean, you can actually like map it, or at least they should put it in the Cyclops where it sends out sonar downwards that bounces off and bounces back up, maps the bottom of the ocean so that you can figure out where the hell you're going. Definitely think the game could use something like that. It's fairly rudimentary. We've had that kind of stuff since like the 1930s. And so, you know, since we're building super awesome power reactors and things that just randomly materialize stuff from the ether, I figure it's probably not too outlandish that we would have like a downward pointed sonar as well. I still don't know if we're lined up right. I want to go back to that place with the blue balls that we already were, but that seems like I'm just like begging for a joke right there. But unfortunately, I'm not. Now is not the time for joking. Now is the time for finding our way back to where we already were. And this is becoming a mild frustration for me, especially given the fact that this damn thing keeps running out of energy. Alright, I'm prepared for this. Let's get some batteries. Got those right there. No, we're going to undo that right there. We don't need to stay away from me, locker. Not right now. And so you go... I got to make a sound effect because it doesn't have one. There we go. And so now that we got our sound effect, I'll take the sound waves for that sound are ridiculous. I don't know. I'm looking at them on my alternate screen right now. It's pretty hilarious and adorbs. Let's go down underneath the water again and see how low we can get. Get low, and we'll see what's down here. There's got to be something good around here somewhere. I think they should put in a console right here that like either images the bottom of the ocean. So let's say that you don't get a map, but this thing right here would image the bottom of the ocean so that you would know like what you were directly over, kind of like a fish finder except for the ground. A fish finder except for the floor of the ocean. So anyways, I think it would be kind of cool. I think I'll probably leave this up at the surface. We're kind of... I don't know how far out the Reaper goes. That's still something that I've never fully verified. I think you know if you're on the edge of the map by the temperature. If you take a look at it, our thermometer is working again, whereas previously the thermometer was not working. It just said 0. And so I think I know you're off the map. This is a little close. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We get consumed by a giant fish, right? I mean... I used to play Jonah when I was a little kid. This is just the logical next step. We're bringing it into the real world. We're reconstructing reality after our childhood playtimes. I hear noises, so hopefully good things will happen down here and not horrible things. We've got a sea moth, so we should be able to explore as much as we want once we get down to the seafloor. Just kind of depends where it's at. Oh wow, we were way off the shelf, weren't we? Okay, so I may have gone too far out. We're actually in the sandy plains biome, I think. I'm a tad worried about the Reaper showing up out here. Just because I have very few visuals as to, like, where he would be at. But still. Guy with the leaf blowers outside today. It annoys me so much. Every Wednesday and Thursday he leaf blowers, which means that I can consistently tell you that my allergies will be the worst on Wednesday and Thursday every single week. I dread it. I'm just like, oh, I wake up and I just hear and I'm just like, why? Why do you do this to me, leaf blower guy? Why? What am I looking at right now? What's down here? What? What? Oh, that's a trip. Hold on. What am I looking at right now? Oh, this is weird as hell. I think I'm still kind of on the edge of the map. I'm not like going inside another cave, am I? I don't want to go inside another cave. Caves have not been fruitful for me so far. Yeah, this looks untextured. It looks like somebody's just been playing around with a paintbrush out here. I don't think this is actually what we're looking for. So, let's go back this way, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I just want to find something. I want this episode to have something in it. And unfortunately, it is not being obliging. Like, everywhere I look, it's just more empty space. What was that over there? I think it's just smudges on the glass. We need the Windex out and clean this thing up. Oh, look, we found a lumpy surface. That's good. That's better than just, like, flat. Well, it's still looking a tad barren out here. It looks like there's some kind of weird trench. I think this is probably the beginnings of them building another, like, cave biome or something like that. Like, I don't know exactly how their workflow functions, but it seems to me that you would make kind of like a rudimentary shape like that before you actually started forming the real deal. I don't know. I don't think this is what we're looking for. Back to the surface! Alright, so we're back. I found like this little zone right here where it's got like bridges and all kinds of weird stuff going on. I figured we'd investigate this for a little while. Just see what's down here. Just see what we can find. I've got a spadefish on me at the moment, but I see lots of kelp. So I think that as we're swimming around down here, we should be able to just like feed ourselves reasonably well. We're pretty close right now to what I would call the Reaper zone. Like, we're actually pretty close to the Aurora at the moment. What is that, a stasis rifle fragment? Pretty sure I already have that. Oh yeah, look, there's little caves down here. Okay, so let's get the kelp going first. That's the first thing that I wanted to get accomplished here. Hopefully our knife doesn't break on us. Come on. Please don't break, knife. Just keep giving me creep vine. All the creep vine in the universe, and then I will shove it into my mouth. Because we are unfortunately starving. I hate that feeling when you're like super hungry. And like, this happened to me all the time in college. Because when you're in college, you don't have money for anything. And so you just be like ridiculous hungry. But the thought of eating more ramen makes you so sick that you just can't do it. And so you just like go hungry. Oh, I hated that so much about college. But eventually near the end, I actually got onto YouTube. And that started paying as like a little side time job. And so that was pretty cool. And I could finally feed myself, which was awesome. Because feeding is probably one of my top 5 favorite things. Let's go and, well, unfortunately, it doesn't take care of your hydration like I wish that it would. So let's take, I guess we'll take the sea moth out right here. Now that we've taken care of our vital signs, I think the sea moth is probably the better plan. Just because I could jump in and out of that, and it gives me kind of like a mobile little area that I can get my oxygen back. Alright, so in we go. It also gives me at least one layer of protection in case our dear friend the Reaper shows up. So it looks like we got some kind of chasm down in here, which leads to the sea floor. And then there's going to be a red grass biome on the alternate side. Okay. And our ping for, I think the big tree is right there. I'm pretty sure that's the ping for the big tree. Actually, it might be the ping for our underwater base. I don't know. I don't have the signal with me, so I don't know. Let's go back over here, though. This is what I wanted to explore. It's nice. It's green. It looks friendly. I also assume that whenever I'm in a green zone, it's kind of like a level 1 newbie zone, so nothing bad's going to happen to me. I know that it's kind of like a false... It's a very false sense of comfort, but it makes me feel better, so don't judge me. I'll take I'll take a little bit of comfort versus no comfort. Why does it sound like there's like dolphins around or something? That's what the game needs. The game needs dolphins. Dolphins, what is that right there? Have we seen that before? What are you? A fan cluster. Are you lootable? Looks like you will be someday. But right now you're not, and that's going to be a green gemmed disc. I thought maybe we might see something over here, but what do you actually get from this zone? Like, what do these do? Copper? Oh, actually, this is like some level 1 stuff then. I do need copper. I always need copper. Like, I go through so many batteries now that our power is no longer efficient. Now that our power is deficient, I am constantly going through batteries. And so I'm hoping... Yeah, let's go over here and we'll grab some of these. Maybe we'll get like 5 or 6 copper out of this, and then it'll be all good. I mean, titanium's fine too. It doesn't make me that happy, but copper ore... A little more titanium. Don't think we're gonna... That thing creeps the hell out of me. Please stop doing that, sea kelp. It's unnerving. What are these over here? A coral shell plate. Oh, okay. Just in case you wanted some more coral. Cool. Badass. You actually can use that when you combine it with, I think, salt, maybe? You combine salt and you combine the calcium carbonate, and I think you get bleach or something out. And then you can use the bleach to make yourself, like, a way super mo bada drink that you can stick in your mouth, which is pretty cool. Let's just keep having a look, shall we? I love these little bridges that are underwater. Absolutely gorgeous. What direction am I facing right now? That was some metal right there. I was like, what is going on? Things randomly falling from the sky here. I don't know if I want to go... How close are we right now to the Aurora? I want to get a visual and just make sure that I'm not drifting too close to the Reapers, because I have no plan on getting stabbed in my face right now by their weird... Okay, so yeah, that is taking me towards the Aurora right there. I guess so if we're going in a southeastish direction, we've got to be careful. So the logical extrapolation from here is that if we're going towards the northwest, we should be safe, right? So let's go to the northwest. We'll see what we find out here. If it actually flatlines out again, I don't know how I'm going to continue filling in content, because honestly, there doesn't appear to be a lot left. We may have to go back and play a different game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It looks like we've got a shelf right here. But it's still articulated. Like, it still looks like this was hand designed. It doesn't look like the edge of the map where there's like, and they just like give up and start putting shit in. Unless they did. Well, the textures are getting a little bit uniform. I think it's possible. There's still a temperature, though. Typically, as long as I've got a temperature, I assume that I'm still inside, like, the main game map. Huh. Yeah, it looks like we're back out just in sandy plains. I don't think we're going to find anything out here. Let's flip a bitch real fast. And then we'll go back up to the top. And I think from here what we'll do is we'll scan a little bit further off to... Well, I don't want to go too far north because that obviously takes us off the map. And we're just barely inside the confines of the map right now. So what I'm thinking... I wanted to see the Arctic zone. And I think the Arctic zone is mostly isolated. There's a big one to the south. There's a little one to the north that I haven't been able to find just yet. And so I'm thinking maybe we go after the big one that's in the south next to the island that we were on. Maybe take the sea moth down to the bottom and just like see what's down there, I guess. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas right now. I am running out of ideas. The game only has so much content, and unfortunately, we appear to have plumbed most of it. I did bring my terraformer along just in case you wanted to terraforma that terra firma. Just in case, I don't know. Does it count as terra firma if it's underwater? Because isn't it, it's normally like sailors that are like, oh, sweet terra firma. I didn't see anything here that was really worth reckoning with. So let's go back up to the surface. It's nice that we got to get our, like, vital signs back up, though. That's pretty cool. It's nice to have a full stomach. Alright, well, in heading this way, I mean, we could still see the bottom right now, so that's good. Maybe I'll pan this out a little bit more towards the north. We'll just stare downwards until we find something new. It looks like this is some kind of shallow. Like, it's weird how barren that is, because once you get up into this zone in the real ocean, it should be very, very flush with life. And so why this is also bare right here when it's so shallow, kind of an oddity. Very, very... Oh, it looks like we've hit another biome over here. Okay. Well, I'm not going to hop out just yet, because this ain't nothing that we haven't already seen. Let's keep working our way around here. Maybe give it a little dive, too. Give ourselves some depth to play with. Looks like we've hit yet another red grass biome. I do wish that the biomes had some sense of location. Like, the biomes, as they stand right now, they seem to be very, very randomly interspersed with each other. What are those right there? Alright, well, I'm not going to concern myself with it for right now. I do think this is a red grass biome we haven't been in yet. So I think it's... Oh, it's one of these things over here called reefbacks. You hear that noise? That was a reefback. It's around here somewhere. Supposedly, if you honk your horn, it'll answer you. I don't know how 100% true that is, but that's what I read on the wiki anyways. Is that the big guys, you know those big floaty things that are like as big as the Cyclops, that are just like woo woo, and they make like super adorbs noises?
Passing safe depth.
Looks like we've got some kind of prototype right there. Floaters releasing. That was kind of fun. I felt like there was fanfare when I came into the zone. They're like, yay, the player's here. This is all that we've waited for forever. Release the floaters. And the floaters like, whee, hooray, I'm doing my singular function that I've been here forever to do. I don't need a stasis rifle fragment right now. I will, however, deposit that. And I will, however, deposit, actually, wasn't this like my junk cabinet or something like that? Or did I run out of space in here? I think I must have run out of space in here. Throw some gold in there real fast. How is the energy looking on my Sea Glide? It's fine, whatever. Let's go down to the bottom of the ocean and have some fun. I should also probably... Yep, there you go, just like that. I should probably also, while we're down here, figure out some way in which... What was that? Stop that. Stop making noises while I'm sitting close to you. It makes me nervous. Anyways... I should probably figure out some method to extract the DNA from a reefback. It appears to be like an important part of the gameplay. It looks like there's lithium along the bottom. One of those little floaty blue things, so we know we're kind of like out here somewhere. The last little bits of coral. These right here actually, this is desiccated dead coral. It means the ocean used to be like shallower over here. Got a little bit deeper, and then it died off. Oh yeah, there's a zone right here. I don't know if this counts as the Koosh zone or what this is. I think this is mushroom zone, but we found it. We found it yet again. I always seem to find my way back here. Every single time I end up in mushroom zone. I do enjoy running over these blue guys. It makes me happy. I don't know why vehicular underwater related homicide makes me so happy, but it does. Don't question it. Just try it. Watch. Go run over some stuff in the ocean. I bet you'll have a blast. You'll be like, wow, that was the greatest. Does it actually count as running over? Do we call it floating over? What do we call this right now? Submerging? I don't know what to call it. It's a little bit weird. Still, there's not a whole lot that's like profitable down in this area. I think this kind of just goes on forever too. Which means that if we're in the mushroom zone, I have a map available right now. I don't have it up, but I don't know what mushroom zone this actually is. It always just seems to go on forever though. These mushroom zones are some of the biggest ones, I think. We're not at crush depth. So what is this over here? What are those? Wow. A weird little critter. Looks like he's got 3 arms on the front of him that he uses to maybe attach to something. Probably me, would be my guess. Just about everything in the game wants to be inside of me, a part of me, or at least drinking my fluids. And so I'm a little bit worried about hanging out with them in the nude. Well, it's some pretty cool little trenchy things over here. I mean, it's still not exactly what I was looking for. Where did my Cyclops end up? Cyclops, where'd you go? There he is. I'll say, ah, hell. We lost our boat again. And this time we lost the expensive one. It wasn't even the cheap one. Oh, we're back at the big tree again. Somebody said that the big tree was permeable, like you could go up inside of it. Might be worth checking out if we could find like a point of incursion. Looks like there's a little hole right there. Swing a little wide. Yeah, it does look like you can get in there. Let's take a look. Barnacle suckers. So it looks like at some point we'll have to gather those. Probably worth indexing for later. So blue clusters and barnacle suckers are inside of the big tree. Oh. What's going on in here? Also some kind of weird growth. Sir, are you aware that you have a growth inside of you? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Those arboreal tumors are always kind of a pain, but they're around. I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. Well, let me look for another spot where we can get inside the tree. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for the next episode of Subnautica. I look forward to seeing you in future episodes, although at this point I don't know how many more we're going to have, just because I think we've pretty much hit the edge of the content. However, I'm going to look for a way into the tree. Once I find it, we'll see if we could do another episode. All right? How you do, everybody?